Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust.
We get asked so many questions about our YouTube channel as part of our early retirement. So in this video, we thought we'd explain how we set up our YouTube channel, why we have a YouTube channel, and why we keep doing it as part of our early retirement.
So if you're new to our channel, we are Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust. We retired from our very busy teaching careers 2 years ago, and we initially started the YouTube channel as almost something to keep ourselves busy, to give ourselves a little bit of a challenge in our early retirement.
And in the beginning, we had no idea where it was going to take us, and we certainly didn't envisage being where we are today. We don't see it as a job. We absolutely love what we do, and we are just continuing to do what we did right from the early days right up to now. And it really does bring something new to our early retirement. And we get asked so many questions about running a YouTube channel. So we thought in this video, what we'd do is we'd take you through how we set up our YouTube channel, look at some of the positives that it's brought to our early retirement, and also some of the challenges of running a YouTube channel. And then, interestingly, we thought we'd go through a few things that you could actually do if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel as part of your early retirement and just giving yourself a little bit of a challenge.
When we first early retired, our friends and family actually thought we'd lost the plot a little bit. Why on earth did you want to start a YouTube channel? And it was actually something from us being teachers and lifelong learners. We wanted a little bit of a challenge. We wanted to continue to be learners, and actually setting up our own YouTube channel gave us a real focus, something to do, something to keep us busy, something to keep us occupied. We were a little bit worried. Our teaching careers were really full on. We had very little time to ourselves in term time, and we were worried that we might not be able to fill that gap, and just being learners with the YouTube was something that we did to fill that gap.
And it put us right on the edge of our comfort zone because we have not done anything like this before in our lives. We're not, I would say, particularly creative people. We're just Richard and Jackie, and we had to sort of stumble into this. The hardest thing was obviously getting used to speaking on camera. It was trying to cope with, what your friends and family would think. But we knew that a project like YouTube would really put us outside our comfort zone. It would really stretch us and really give us a purpose as part of our early retired life.
And something that we've really learnt to love is that being creative and the creative challenge now. We're constantly thinking about what we might want to do and how we're going to present it and what might people want to know about. So yeah, it's given us a real focus.
And one of the things we absolutely wanted out of our early retirement was to travel and have adventures. And we couldn't do that if we were doing any paid employment or any jobs. So we needed something that was just going to give us the freedom to carry on doing as we wish in terms of having travels and adventures, but something that we could do on the road and we could do it from anywhere in the world.
Something that we didn't envisage is that it would provide us with, actually at the moment, quite a considerable passive income. When we first set out to do the YouTube channel, we used to laugh and say, well, eventually when we do finally get monetized, we might earn enough for a couple of pizzas and a beer a month, and that'll be fab. And that did happen after about a year, but actually we're quite enjoying the fact that that monetization has actually grown as well, which is helping us to afford to do a bit more of our travels.
And again, it just adds into that flexibility. So we're quite used to now, I suppose we don't like to use the word work on the road because it doesn't feel like work at all, but we are quite used to doing what we do on YouTube on the road, and it is just a really good complement to our early retired life.
And it's not really getting in the way of our travels, and it doesn't get in the way of our day-to-day life. We are out and about a lot, hiking, just getting out in our campervan, and just filming little snippets here and there on our way. It doesn't intrude in what we do.
And a prime example of that is we sat here on a ski holiday with the kids, and we haven't allowed YouTube to intrude at all on our time with the kids because that time is absolutely sacrosanct. Granted, we've kicked them out for an hour so that we can do this video, but it allows us that freedom to make choices within our early retirement.
And 1 hour in a whole week of family fun is not much of a sacrifice.
Another reason why we wanted to start a YouTube channel, and it does almost sound a little bit pithy, but it's really genuine from us, is that we spent all of our working careers giving to other people, and we've used YouTube as a resource, and we felt that within our early retirement we wanted to pay some of that back and to develop a community based around our travel and our adventures and our early retirement, and somehow help other people and try and build an early retired community virtually online.
And hopefully 2 years, nearly 2.5 years in, that has really started to form quite strong bonds.
Yeah, and that was something that we never really sort of envisaged was going to grow so strong. But, you know, some of the things that we discuss in the comments and things like that, it brings us real joy, and it's a real strength of having a YouTube channel. So the first thing we had to do when we were thinking about setting up a channel was to try and find a niche, something that we were interested in. And we had to dig real deep because we knew that it was a long-term project, and we had to do something that we were really passionate about because we wanted to do it for a number of years. And I hope it comes across on the channel that we are really passionate about travel, adventure, and just getting the very best out of our early retirement. So those are the sort of three main niches, I suppose, that we decided to base our channel on.
So if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you will know that we try and order our videos. On a Sunday, we try and put out anything to do with our travels and our van life particularly. And on a Thursday, it's all things to do with early retirement and things to do with well-being. Richard runs a well-being Thursday, the first Thursday of every month. But some people have questioned that we've got too varied niche, that we are trying to do two different things. Most people seem to accept now that the Sunday and Thursday works quite well. And actually a huge part of the community that we've built up now are early retired or people that are thinking of early retiring or have just retired and want a life full of adventure and travel. So it does seem to fit quite well. And we're happy that we're staying with that whole early retirement vibe rather than just niching down just to early retirement or just to van life. We like doing both.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right to us, and we never set out to do this as a business, and we're certainly not doing this to make our millions. We're doing it because it's something that we absolutely love. If we wanted to niche down into van life, I suppose it might be more profitable, or early retirement, but that's not us. We like a bit of everything, so we're going to carry on doing that. And then the next thing you have to worry about is the tech, and I would absolutely say you do not need to go too tech heavy on this, because you've got all the things that you actually need probably within your disposal, with one or two key bits of kit that you need. We started out and continue to film on our iPhones. It makes it really, really simple, and we have always got our iPhones on us.
And they're not even the latest fancy-dancy iPhones. We've both got iPhone 11 Pros that we've had for over 5 years. They work perfectly well.
The other thing I would say is you need a cheap tripod, and we have a Ulanzi tripod that I think was about £20 off Amazon, and you can mount your phone on that. This is what we're doing at the moment, and you can film to your heart's content. The one big learning point that we've reflected on and that we wish we'd changed earlier on was to do with mics.
Yeah, I've got quite a quiet voice, and Richard was constantly moaning at me that I need to speak up. But we invested in some DJI microphones. They were tiny little pack. Richard will show you some photos of what they look like, but they have changed and revolutionised the quality of the sound. When we're in our house and we're recording, it reduces the echo. When we're outside recording, we can wear little wind muffles on it, and it stops any of the interruption that comes from the wind and just general outside noises. And we've noticed a huge difference in that. They weren't massively expensive. I think they start from about £150, £180, but they did make a big difference.
And then in terms of editing, we had a Mac that has iMovies on, and I still edit on iMovies. I sometimes feel compelled to go to a more sophisticated editing suite, but I don't actually feel the need to, apart from just the challenge of it. So yeah, the iMovies comes free with a Mac, and that's everything you need, really.
I'm assuming if you didn't have a Mac, because both of us through our work have used Macs for years. But if you didn't have a Mac, I'm assuming on Windows there must be a similar program that you can either download or buy to do the editing. The one other piece of kit that we do have that we take out, particularly when we're on our van life adventures and our travels, is just a little action cam. Again, nothing very sophisticated, and we didn't have one for the first year because Richard was quite insistent that you stayed with one piece of kit.
Yeah, I think it's a trap that you can fall into of buying too much kit. So it's difficult enough to manage video files just off the iPhone. So I would say just film on the phone to start with. You get used to handling all the files, and for me it was a big step up actually having to deal with two cameras, and it still is a little bit complicated. That's why I'm not going for a drone yet, because I couldn't possibly cope with 3 different types of cameras. I just want to keep it really, really simple, because the key, I think, to YouTube is actually just getting more comfortable in front of the camera. It's not how you record it, and that's not going to make a difference. It's not going to be how really you edit it. It's you on camera telling your story, and that's all we're trying to do.
I have remembered something else that we did need to buy. We did realise, particularly once you got your action cam, that storing the data was quite tricky. So we have had to invest in a couple of outside hard drives.
Yeah, SSD hard drives, they work best because they're really good for traveling. There's no moving parts in them. They're pretty bomb-proof, and we keep all our video files off our computer because otherwise it would just grind the computer to a halt.
Something that I think has made a big difference to how our channel has progressed is that we've always tried to make sure that we're really consistent. We set out saying that we would do 2 videos a week, one a week to do with our travels, one a week to do with anything to do with early retirement, and as much as possible, we stick to that programme. It could be quite easy to miss out lots of weeks and just say, oh, well, we haven't got anything recorded. But once you start the little road of losing your consistency, it's actually hard to keep it up again.
Yeah, and the YouTube algorithm, which allows you to grow your channel. And I don't like thinking of the word algorithm. I actually like thinking of audience. So the YouTube audience likes consistency. And if you are rewarded for consistent production, and that's all we've done. We've just kept churning and putting out the materials, because the more videos you produce, the better you get. And I can't go back and look at our early videos. Please don't do that, by the way, because it's just horrific. They are still on the channel. We are very different people now, and because naturally you just grow and you get better. But the only way you get better is actually by practicing it.
And actually, that's the thing about personality type. I would be really awful at keeping the consistency. I know if it was just me doing the YouTube channel on my own, I probably would have failed quite a long time ago, because I just wouldn't have the dedication to keep that up. Whereas Richard's personality style, which is a bit OCD and he likes things ordered, it suits you perfectly.
Yeah, I like a plan, and I like keeping to a plan, and it keeps me honest. And
he makes me stick to a plan.
And then the final bit of advice is to use YouTube as a resource. So everything that we have done in terms of setting up our YouTube channel, we have learned from other YouTubers. And if you want to know how to do something, how to edit, how to upload, how to set up a YouTube channel, there are so many unbelievably brilliant resources out there. And it's amazing how quick you can get going by following the advice. And I follow a number of different channels that give out advice on how to run a YouTube channel, and it has just been invaluable. I think the main benefit from starting a YouTube channel, and the main reason why we actually started this channel, was to give us a sense of purpose in our early retirement. I was definitely the sort of person that needed something to fill the void, and I have loved on a daily basis learning something new, how to tweak the channel, how to tweak my skills, how to just be creative, which is something that I've not really done in my entire life, and I'm really enjoying the process of that. And that hasn't changed in the 2 years that we've been running the channel, and it's nothing to do with monetization, it's nothing to do with all the other benefits that we get. It is just simply a really fulfilling thing to do, and I love it.
And actually, it was almost like it was our hobby when we first early retired. And as a hobby, it was something that we could do on the road. It was something we could take with us when we go on our travels. We can do it when we're in the van. We can do it when we're skiing. We don't have to answer to anyone, or there's no sort of rules that we have to stick to. We're not employed by anyone. It's something we love doing, and it's just given us a freedom. Now actually earning a bit of an income as well, but just the freedom to do as we please.
Another benefit that I think we've developed since having our YouTube channel is that we've probably become a little bit more confident as a couple, and we've become more confident as individuals, because we have put ourselves outside our comfort zone, and it's not actually that bad when you get there.
And believe it or not, we're actually both quite shy people. I think some of our friends and family 2 years ago would have said we would struggle to do the YouTube channel, sitting here and talking to a camera and talking to quite a wide audience now. But it's something that we've really grown into and we've got used to.
Yeah, and it does impinge on how we present as well, because we've talked about it a lot on the channel that our worst idea of hell is actually having to speak in public, and we really don't like doing that, and we're not the sort of people that are going to have a camera in our face, because it just sends shivers down my spine just the thought of it.
As we said, we've actually sent the kids away today so that we've told them they can't come back to the apartment for an hour because we wouldn't even want to talk in front of them.
But that's us, and that's our personality. But yeah, we are definitely that little bit more confident than we were prior to doing the channel.
Another lovely thing that's come out of our whole YouTube experience is the community that has grown around us over the last 2.5 years. We have forged some really good, almost virtual friendships with some of our viewers, and that's growing all the time.
It absolutely blows our mind that people across the world, not many, but people across the world are watching our channel and are actually interested in what we're talking about. I mean, that's just crazy. But one of their feelings from early retirement is that sometimes you can feel a little bit socially isolated because you haven't got work and you haven't got work colleagues to call upon, whereas now we've definitely got a new community that we absolutely love.
And we do love hearing about what other people are up to, and we do like that in the comment sections on most of our videos now, people aren't just commenting and speaking to us, you're actually commenting on each other's comments and sort of supporting each other in that way. It's lovely.
Final benefit that probably not many people talk about is to do with the income that you generate from YouTube, and we very definitely did not see ourselves as being able to pursue this. As Jackie mentioned earlier, we were just delighted when we actually got a little payment from YouTube and we had enough money to buy a pizza. But then, to be fair, the channel has grown quite considerably over the course of the last 12 months.
And we've been quite good. All of the money that we have earned through YouTube, we've put into a travel pot, and it's helping to fund our travels, which is then helping us bring more YouTube to you. So it's kind of growing itself in that way.
So the way YouTube works is to get monetized. So in order to receive income from Google AdSense for all the adverts that are on any YouTube video, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time. And once you pass through that threshold, you then start receiving a proportion of the money that Google generates from the ads that they put out on the videos.
And the amount that Google pay can vary quite tremendously. Some videos we have earned around £2.50 per 1,000 views. So if you get a couple of thousand views, we might earn £5 on that video. Some videos, and one particularly when we were in Thailand, and we have no idea why, earned us £17.50 per video. That is very, very rare. And it had about 3,000 views. So that video earned about £50. And there's just no rhyme or reason to how they choose how much you're going to earn per video. We can never predict that, but it just does provide us with that little bit of income that's very welcome.
And for our own peace of mind, we are quite happy to take that money from Google, because if you watch YouTube, one of the things of YouTube is that there are adverts on it. So we are quite happy to take that money directly from Google, but we are not going to go down the Patreon route. We are not interested in memberships or buy me a coffee, because we just feel we get enough reward for what we do directly from Google.
And we do feel that we watch our fair share of YouTube, and we do watch the YouTube videos that have all got adverts on it, that it's just part and parcel of what comes with YouTube.
And then one final thing, probably associated with YouTube income, is that it's eminently scalable. So you can scale up your production or you can scale down your production depending on how you feel. So when we are out on the road, we can decide when we want to work, what we want to produce, and how often we want to put that out. And that ultimate freedom, it is so unlike anything we've done before. You know, we used to do the 9 to 5 job, and it is about as far from a 9 to 5 type role as you could possibly get. And we love that.
Something we both laugh about now was that initial fear of what if no one actually wants to watch our channel at all. And obviously when you first produce your videos, we were really excited. I remember our first video, we got about 50 views in the first couple of days, and they were definitely all of our family and friends just wanting to see what we're up to. And that did slowly grow, but it was definitely a fear. And there's still the odd video that we'll make and we're like, are you sure that people will actually want to see a video about this? And then we're really surprised when people do.
Yeah, you just got to dig in, and in the early days, people don't even know you exist, and that's fine, but people will find you. For me, there's always going to be technical issues, so it might be to do with the sound, it might be to do with the camera, it might be to do with the laptop inadvertently just deciding not to work when we were out in Thailand, for instance. I was traumatized by that, but you know, when you're working with technology, sometimes things aren't going to work, and that's okay, because you know, you can always come back another week and keep producing.
Something that we haven't actually encountered a huge amount, but we did have one video that went viral, and we did get a few really quite unnecessary and quite nasty comments, which do affect you because you're not there for people that are just behind their keyboard to really be quite nasty. Luckily, it was only on that one video, and for most parts, we have a wonderful audience that do, if they comment, have lovely comments or share stories. But yeah, the nasty comments are not nice.
No, and there are ways within the YouTube machine to be able to shut those comments down. We try not to do that. We just don't engage with negative comments because we pride ourselves on being a really positive channel. So, you know, if there's any negativity out there, it just doesn't get answered really. And another challenge, again, probably coming back to sort of confidence really, is that we're living in a big wide world. And out in that big wide world, there are people that are like you, that are interested in the same thing. And YouTube really does help you to connect with those people. And you just got to keep that at the back of your mind, that there is an audience, there is a tribe out there for you, and you have just got to go out and find those people. And slowly but surely, if you just keep chipping away at it in terms of YouTube, you will find those people, and it is a most rewarding process.
It is. It's that consistency that we talked about earlier. If you're just consistent in the niche that you want to show people, there is your tribe out there.
And then the final challenge, which from what I gather everyone goes through, we certainly did, was when you finally make that decision to press upload and publish your first video. There's no avoiding that. I think your first video is going to be rubbish. Ours was. It was awful, but you have to be able to get over that step because you're not going to get anywhere by planning, strategizing. You can do all of that, but at some point you actually have to have the confidence to just press upload and then keep doing it. And that's the key to what we've done, and that's why we enjoy it so much.
So what steps could you do to set up your own YouTube channel right now? And the most important thing will be pick a niche that you can talk about passionately.
The next thing I would say is pick up your phone and actually film a video. You can work out once you have spoken on camera what you're going to do with that and how you're going to edit it, and YouTube will help you with that, but you've got to actually get in front of the camera and you've got to talk.
Just focus on the message that you want to get across, not about the technical challenges at that time.
And the final thing is, I would say, don't worry about the numbers. Just think about that potential audience member that's at the other side of the camera. If you focus on that and forget about all the numbers, all the success criteria, all your goals and aspirations, and just focus on that one person, you're not going to go too far wrong.
We always say, if you do something that you would be interested in watching, then you can't go far wrong. There will be people out there that want to watch what you have to say. Oh, the irony that this is a video all about how we do things on our YouTube channel. Would you like to confess a little bit, Rich?
Yeah, when I talked earlier in the video about technical difficulties, little did I know what I was going to do. I came to edit the video last night and I was putting stuff together and it was looking lovely, and then you get to the last scene and I can't find the file and I don't know where it is. Don't know whether we recorded it, we didn't record it, whether it's been deleted, but we had no final file to talk about our goodbyes.
So if you've got any questions or comments that you'd like to say about the video, anything that you'd like to know about the YouTube journey and how to set up your own YouTube channel, then stick it below in the comments.
And one thing from me, if you are interested in the tech side of things, I've never done a tech video before, but if you're interested in that, pop it in the comments below. But apart from that, we are going to continue our day skiing. I've got a night of editing ahead of me, and then hopefully this will get out to you on time. But we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.